Next up in the Pro Tour Gauntlet, I thought we'd look at Scott-Vargas' green-black Aristocrat deck. This deck, kind of similar to the old Rally the Ancestor decks of old, really abuses the synergies, I guess, between Zulaport Cutthroat, Nantuko Husk, and other ways to sacrifice your creatures. This deck can really fill up the board quickly and then use like Duskwatch Recruiter and other cards such as Liliana to really get value out of your creatures. So let's get to the match. Here we are for the match with the green-black Aristocrats deck played by Luis Scott-Vargas to another top 8. We are on the draw and our hand looks awesome actually. We have a turn 1 Blister Pod, turn 2 Cryptolith Rite, which is going to let us play some early creatures or maybe even a turn 3 Collected Company. Oh no! Duress! I guess, well, Cryptolith Rite is very good here, but I assume the opponent is going to take the Collected Company. That card is always very, very good, and I think, oh, wow, okay. So they did take the right. I guess that might pay off for the opponent if I don't draw another land within the next 2 turns. We'll see what happens. Oh, well, that makes more sense. Transgress the Mind. Might just take the Collected Company this time. All right. And we are not drawing any more lands. Hopefully we can hit a land next turn. If not, we're going to be in a world of hurt. It looks like the opponent's also missing a land. Well, I guess we are going to play the draw-go game. Both the opponent and I. Until somebody hits their 6th land. Rather, 3rd land. But hey, opponent doesn't want to use a removal spell on Blister Pod because, well, it's kind of a waste, honestly. And Elvish Visionary is another card that the opponent probably doesn't want to use a removal spell on. Although I would imagine if the opponent misses another land, the Duskwatch Recruiter is probably going to die on the following turn. Oh, but fortunately for us, we did hit another source of mana. I think I'm probably going to play the Catacomb Sifter here. That's going to make any eventual creature I cast scry for me. And I assume the opponent is going to want to kill the Nantuko Husk when I cast it the following turn. Given how things are going, though, we might just win off the back of these weenie creatures. We'll see. We'll go to combat here. Attacking for 5. We might even see a Grasp of Darkness on the Catacomb Sifter this turn. Alright, indeed it is. Certainly don't mind that. Gonna lay out the Husk here instead of going Visionary plus Duskwatch Recruiter. Ultimate price, alright. Cannot save our creature from that. Opponent has 6 cards in hand, but missing land and still has only 2 lands. I think here I might just lead with another Sifter, honestly. But that being said, Nantuko Husk is always going to be lethal for the opponent, basically, at this point. So it's probably better just to cast that out. And at any point, if the opponent doesn't kill the Husk and I draw another black source for Liliana, we'll be able to transform her immediately. But it looks like the opponent just wasn't drawing land. From what we see, this could be the green-black Seasons Past deck. I probably want to bring in Transgress the Minds and Ulvenwald Mysteries, and I probably want to bring in Tireless Trackers, just for extra value. Alright, let's bring in some Transgress the Minds. I'm not actually sure what we're supposed to cut here. I need to currently cut 8 cards. It's possible I don't need these rights. In fact, I probably end up cutting those here. What else? I guess Lone Dryads aren't as necessary either. We're not really looking to go super fast versus a deck like the opponents. We'd rather just get more cards with value, like the Mysteries and the Tireless Tracker. I can probably cut 1 Transgress. Definitely want to keep the full... Well, you know what? Actually, I'll cut a Visionary here. We definitely want to keep the full Zulaports and the Husks. And otherwise, I think we just want the value creatures. So let's submit this, and then we'll go to Game 2. Game 2 here with the green-black Aristocrats deck. We are on the draw, and keep this hand. It's a little bit slow, but it's got a lot of powerful cards for sure. Okay. I think we just lead with Hissing Quagmire here, but that could be wrong. I can lead with Blister Pod and then just hissing Quagmire. I don't need to play the Cutthroat out on 2. In fact, generally, I feel like you don't want to run that Cutthroat out that early. Okay, well, not a bad draw. We're still going to lead with a Quagmire here to be able to cast our 3 drops on curve. It definitely looks like the opponent's on the green-black Seasons Past deck, which means the deck runs Languish. He might cast, like, Read the Bones here. Yeah. Nissa is in the deck. There's, I believe, 1 Infinite Obliteration in the sideboard, which is actually pretty good versus my deck, right? Zulaport Cutthroat and the Antuco Husk, the 2 important hits. I guess we'll just lead with Husk. Would really like to hit a 4th land next turn for the Collected Company, but if the opponent uses a removal spell on the Husk, I can always sack the Blister Pod in response to have that 4th mana. Ooh, Kalitas is also very, very good versus me. I forgot that was in the opponent's deck. It's very possible I should have brought in Fleshbag Marauders. So what we're going to do here, we're going to attack in with the Husk. And sacrifice the Blister Pod for 2 additional damage. And this is going to let me... Oh, right. Didn't even think about Kalitas exiling my Blister Pod. The opponent is probably telling me, oopsies. And yeah, that was definitely a mistake on my part. Alright. Well, now I know better for next time. Wasn't even thinking about Kalitas' exiling creatures. And at this point, I think we're just probably way too far behind. Transgress the Mind. 1 Collected Company down. Grasp of Darkness on the Liliana, sure. No point sacking anything in response. She's going to get exiled anyways. Not sure how I can beat the Kalitas. I'm just going to pass here and Collected Company, though. I obviously completely messed up this game by sacking the Blister Pod. But that's why I'm not a professional. In fact, the Pro Tour Gauntlet is more a thing that is a showcase, I guess, of the decks played at the Pro Tour. And so it's a chance for regular people like me to give the decks a shot, even if we're not very good with them. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to come back from Kalitas at this point. I'm not even sure that I can. Especially since it's gone off this far. I think we just need to go to Game 3 and probably bring in the Fleshbag Marauder. Of course, the opponent can sacrifice a zombie to make Kalitas a 5/6 here. I could block with Scion and then sack, but the opponent's not low enough for that really to matter. And yeah, now that I've let Kalitas to get out of hand, I don't think there's much we can do. Yeah, I think I'm going to scoop this one up. Obviously, I made a huge mistake there. And I'm going to need to bring in the ultimate prices. Because Kalitas is a card I must kill. Plus, this can deal with, like, Nissa. Worst case scenario. In fact, you know what? These mysteries and trap... No, I still have to leave those in. It's probably just, like, Elvish Visionaries that have to be cut at this point. And maybe 1 Transgress the Mind. But I definitely should have brought in ultimate prices. I just wasn't even thinking. It's funny that I was showcasing the green-black Seasons Past deck that John Finkel was running in the previous segment, and then I instantly just forget. All right, so let's ship this and let's go to a Game 3. All right, Game 3 of the green-black Aristocrats versus green-black Seasons Past. Obviously made some misplays in that second game, but I think we got to keep this hand here. It's kind of slow, but it's got an ultimate price for any Kalitas shenanigans. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have too many discard effects in their hand, but definitely don't think this is a mulligan, on the play especially. Collected Company, again, one of the best cards in Standard for a long time now. Hopefully this card can, or hopefully this hand can do some work. Alright, gonna lead with Forest, pass the turn. Sadly, no 1-drops for me. Alright, go ahead and just pass here. Nothing to do. Evolving Wilds, okay. Let's draw a 2-drop. Let's draw the Duskwatch Recruiter. That would be quite nice. 1 time? Ooh, alright. Well, I will certainly accept a Transgress the Mind. Deadweight, Grasp of Darkness, Force Swamp, and an Infinite Obliteration. Alright, well, that is definitely a good hit in my opinion. Looks like we might be able to get this Collected Company off. Hopefully the opponent doesn't draw a discard effect. Ooh, and Ulvenwald Mysteries too. Nice. That is some nice value. Sleeve the Sifter, play the Collected Company next turn. And I think we're in good shape. Even if opponent has Kalitas this turn, we have the ultimate price to deal with it after casting the Collected Company. We know the opponent still has a Deadweight in their hand, but I'm not too worried about that currently. Alright, nice. And we hit a Sifter and a Husk. Perfect. We're not going to need too much more to go off. In fact, in theory, we could already do, what, 2, 4, 6, 8 damage? No, sorry. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage because of the Ulvenwald Mysteries. Alright, let's play that out. And with the Mysteries, I'm feeling pretty confident about our position. Languish isn't awful, per se. We get to keep the Husk, we get to sack a Clue at end of turn, make a 1/1, we get to scry a few times. Deadweight is, yes, a problem for the Husk, I guess. In fact, Deadweight just kills the Husk. But we're still in a very, very good spot. Oh, does he have... Oh, wait. Okay, well this is still the fine situation that we thought. So we'll just sack some stuff here. We're going to end up getting effectively 2 Clue tokens and 1 attacking creature next turn. I probably take another Husk, even though the opponent has Deadweight in their hand. The opponent's going to be forced to use the Deadweight on this Husk, so not a big deal. Alright. We already know we want that on top. Opponent has 1 more Swamp left in their hand. And I guess it doesn't really matter what order I do it in. Doesn't matter if we sack the Sifter or not. The Deadweight's going to kill the Husk no matter what, since it's an enchantment. So we'll just let that resolve. We'll get a Clue. The opponent's almost certainly going to Deadweight to finish it off. It's fine. We get another Clue. Yeah, Ulvenwald Mysteries is a sweet sideboard card for sure. We'll draw the Husk. Ooh, Westvale Abbey. That's not too shabby either. I think I'll just lay out the Husk here and attack in for 1. I'm not going to use the Clue on my turn. I don't want to run into another Languish should the opponent have drawn one. This Westvale Abbey is also going to be very, very good for us. I think it's a little bit funny that this is not a legendary land. Alright, nothing from the opponent. End of turn, use the Clue. Draw a Tireless Tracker, which is another insane one for us. Can't technically kill the opponent this turn yet. Blister Pod, and I could go for it in theory, I guess. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, if we drew a Blister Pod, I could go for the kill. But that seems a little bit risky. Oh, Cutthroat, on the other hand, I think should do it. Oh, I tapped incorrectly. I'm going to take 1 unnecessary damage because I tapped the Swamp for the Tireless Tracker. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. 4, 5, 6 damage currently. 4, 8, 10. Get a clue. Yeah, let's just go for it. What the heck, why not? And that should be lethal. All right. Hey, this deck is sweet when you get everything up and rolling. Lots of nice synergies in this deck, and sideboard cards are real sweet. I think Tireless Tracker is just one of the most awesome cards to come out of Shadows over Innistrad. It's a 3-drop that is not only card advantage, but it's also just a great win con as well. Duskwatch Recruiter also very, very good. I think the green-black Aristocrats deck is a fun one, and I look forward to playing it in the standard environment. So this is a look at Luis Scott-Vargas' list from the Pro Tour, top 8. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and check out the other Gauntlet videos.